As the Obama administration is coming to a close, unemployment has plunged to a nearly 9-year low. When Obama came to office, it was at 7.8%. Now it's at 4.6%, which is really good. But you see, America's future is not about being good. It's about being great.
Trump promised to keep carrier jobs in the U.S.
He says Carrier is going to bring back those jobs to Indiana. He, as president, will make it happen.
I'm going to call up Carrier, and I'm going to tell the head of Carrier, I hope you enjoy your stay in Mexico, folks, but every single unit that you make and send across our border, which now will be real, you're going to pay a 35% tax. And you know what Carrier's going to do? They're going to call me in 24 hours, and they're going to go, Mr. President, we're moving back into the United States. We're going to build in the United States. That's what's going to happen, 100% sure.
Man, say what you want about Trump, but he really kicks ass in imaginary negotiations against himself. Then Carrier's gonna say they're sorry, and everyone will chant my name. Then Rosie O'Donnell will be like, Donald rules, and I drool. Then the failing New York Times will print a headline that says, air conditioner factory stays, Trump keeps his cool. And it'll be a great pun, and everyone will laugh at the pun, and they'll say, great pun, Donald, because they'll know it was really my pun. And by the way, it's easy to see why Trump wants more air conditioning in America. Look at his face there. He was sweating so much. He looks like he's doing an impression of Fat Bastard. Like, what is he doing? Get in my country. But, and this is crazy, once Trump won the election, he actually did it. He got on the phone, negotiated with Carrier, and he made his first deal.
The air conditioning giant tweeted last night, quote, we are pleased to have reached a deal with President-elect Trump and VP-elect Pence to keep close to 1,000 jobs in Indy.
The deal is extremely popular. 60% of registered voters saying it gave them a more favorable view of Trump.
Wow, yes. After Trump's deal, some people see him in a better light. He saved 1,000 people's jobs and he grabbed 0 pussies? Wow. Maybe we should give this guy a chance. But before you give him a chance, you may want to examine the Carrier deal a little closer. Because, like Donald Trump's hair, there's something that's just a little off.
Numerically, there are some issues here. Donald Trump, during his speech, said that there were about 1,100 jobs saved. It turns out it's probably more like 800 jobs that were saved. 300 that he were referring to were actually never going to move in the first place.
It's not a sustainable strategy to save 800 or 1,000 jobs at a time.
The deal gives the heating and air conditioning company $7 million in state tax breaks over 10 years.
What Trump is doing is setting a very dangerous precedent. My guess is today there's some corporation who may not have thought 1 second about leaving America. Now they're going to announce, hey, we're going to Mexico, we're going to China. Hey, Mr. Trump, what you going to do for us?
Bernie! Bernie! We should have listened to you, Bernie! You know, every time Democrats see Bernie Sanders, they're like, damn, I wonder what could have been. But he's right. It's not sustainable for the government to pay companies to keep uncompetitive jobs in the country. But now that other companies have read Carrier's blackmail script, they could also threaten to leave and wait for those sweet, sweet tax breaks to roll in. It's like that children's book. If you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to want to you in the ass. You guys have the same book, right? It's the same book. And by the way, I love how Donald Trump made it like, I told Carrier what to do, and they did it. No, that's not what happened. They threatened something. Trump paid them the money, and they still sent hundreds of jobs to Mexico. Like, Trump would be the worst hostage negotiator in the world. He would just be like, come out with your hands up. Free all the hostages. No? All right, you asked for it. We're sending in $1 million and more hostages. All right, cover me, boys. I'm going in to give him a hand job. Cover me. Worst negotiator ever. Well, there's another aspect of this deal, but it has good news and bad news. The good news is Carrier has agreed to invest more money into their factory. The bad news is it's gonna be like Westworld.
Updating the plant will result in more automation and an important consequence.
We're going to make a $16 million investment in that factory.
That sounds good, except they're doing it to automate the manufacturing process, which will shed jobs.
As bad as this deal is, what makes this so good for Donald Trump is that it gives the illusion that he's done something meaningful. That's what Trump is all about. It's the show. Because all the headlines say is, Trump saves 1,000 jobs. Which, don't get me wrong, I acknowledge is something for every single person whose job was saved. I don't deny that. But at the scale the president is supposed to work on, that's barely a drop in the bucket. It's all about the 1,000 jobs. What about everyone's jobs? You've got to create jobs as well. This is basically a classic con man move. You know, a con man makes you focus on what you think you can get and distracts you from everything that you stand to lose. That's all it is. And look, the Carrier deal might have some benefits, but it would be naive to ignore all of the side effects. In fact, I have a proposal. Every time Trump makes a promise, he should be forced to include the fine print.
And you know what Carrier's going to do? They're going to call me in 24 hours, and they're going to go, Mr. President, we're moving back into the United States.
Donald Trump's promises are not intended to be taken seriously. The number of jobs will be lower than promised. Side effects could include massive corporate tax breaks, higher consumer costs, and companies giving the jobs to robots anyway. Ask your doctor if your economy is healthy enough for Trump. He'll probably say no, but him, make America great again.
Sounds good to me. Hey there, thanks for subscribing to our new YouTube channel. You're probably thinking, but I didn't. I know, which is fine, but now you're thinking about subscribing. You should really just subscribe. Just do it. Subscribe. Who said that? Subscribe. Who's saying these things? Subscribe now. What?